What's up, welcome back, Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Katy Perry's seventh album, 143. This is Katy's follow-up to her last album, Smile, which came out 4 years ago in 2020. And no one really hold it against you if you forgot about Smile. That was an album that very much came and went for Katy after being the long-awaited comeback to her famous flop Witness from 2017. Katy Perry's seventh album, 143, continues the creative and commercial downward spiral from her last albums, Witness and Smile. At this point, Katy Perry really comes across as a relic of pop music and the last vestige of 2010s pop specifically. To have Katy Perry release an album now at the end of summer 2024, when esteemed luminaries such as Billie Eilish and Beyonce and even Taylor to a certain degree have gotten less attention during the year of Charlie XCX, Chappell Roan, and Sabrina Carpenter. Katy Perry's music simply just feels completely out of touch with where pop music is. It's not that any of this is offensively bad. It's not. Some of it's pretty fine. Katy, of course, is very capable vocal. There's just nothing under the hood with this music, and it's certainly not quirky enough or interesting enough to divert attention from where pop music is right now. I mean, it can't be overstated how much of a flop the debut single was, Woman's World. And frankly, it's justified. How do you make a song called Woman's World, ostensibly about female empowerment, and you make that song with Dr. Luke? Enough said. And she made almost the whole album with Dr. Luke, who, on one hand, was the creator and key collaborator of some of her greatest successes a decade ago. So maybe I understand why she thought she had to go back to that well, but it's just not working. And frankly, it became an even badder beat when the second single, Lifetimes, doesn't even chart and actually gets more attention for the music video potentially going against environmental laws and protections locally where it was filmed. Like, couldn't have gone worse. And then we get to the album, which to its credit is pretty brisk, 11 minutes, 34 minutes. And yeah, like, there's unsurprisingly nothing that really rises up to truly grab your attention. Is it amusing to me that you have 21 Savage and Doechii featured on this? Even Kim Petras for that regard? Even Jid? Yeah. On one hand, I think the Jid feature actually makes a ton of sense to me, given that he also worked with Imagine Dragons, like the ultimate bag casher there. But, these features are fine. I actually think Doechii, in another universe, maybe that could have worked and been more fun. And this album, for the most part, is quite electronic. Like, Katy, again, great vocalist. She has one of the best voices in pop music, certainly in recent history. But her vocals are almost dubbed over a lot, and there's just so much production layered on to this album that perhaps, and like I'm probably being overly gracious here, perhaps if a different vision for an album like this, which is a bit more, lo-fi and maybe folky in a certain sense, allowing her to vocally shine a bit more, perhaps that would catch more people's attention. But I just feel like songwriting wise, like, there's just not an appetite for this level of pop right now. And that's not specific to Katy Perry. She's hardly the only one who struggles with this. And I'm saying this as someone who is a Katy Perry fan. Like, I wouldn't be reviewing the album if I didn't previously really enjoy her music. That being said, do I go back to the Teenage Dream era all that much? I can't say I do, but Teenage Dream also was on my best songs of the decade list, and I stand by that. But I think pop music has really passed Katy by. It is kind of funny that we already got past the Vegas residency phase of the Katy Perry career, because she has enough hits, obviously the older ones, of course, but like, she has enough hits that a residency type situation for her makes a lot of sense. So I'm curious what the next move is, just because this album is completely DOA, and we'll see that in the commercial performance as well. And you're certainly seeing it on streaming too. Like, just to kind of nail the point home on the lack of attention on this, like, you open up Katy Perry's name on Spotify, 58.8 million monthly listeners, 30th in the world, because she has multiple songs with a billion or near billions streams. Again, they're all 10 years old. All the new songs, including the new singles, they're not on her top 5. No one's listening to this new music. They're just listening to the old music. And you know what? I think that's fine. Like, again, there's completely certified reasons why Katy Perry is as successful as she's been. She sold over 100 million records. It's just, unfortunately, I just don't know if she has the capability to pivot and continue to sell a lot of records, as pop has kind of passed her by. And I don't think that's anything to be too ashamed of. Honestly, like, that happens to a lot of people in music, especially when you're making big tent mainstream pop. It's okay. But that's just kind of what's happened. But let me know, what did you think of Katy Perry's 143? Did you find anything redeeming about it? Any song you want to revisit? Let me know. And for more music reviews, subscribe. I'll see you next time.